Let's hear it for local officials that are willing to stand up for what's right. People, we need local officials to stand up for what's right. We needed our legislators to stand up for what's right. We needed our governor to stand up for what's right. But we also need folks every single day, people who aren't interested in running for office, but are interested in making sure their kids have a good education, an education that they can pay for, and it's going to be a quality education, and that folks who are citizens that are willing to stand up no matter how much heat they get and say, I'm here to do what's right for my kids and my neighbors. One of the people, if not one of the biggest people in this state who's been willing to do that, is here with us today. A school reformer in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is a tough place to be a school reformer, in Kenosha and Racine, Wisconsin, but she stood up for what was right and received state and national media attention for it. Please join me in welcoming Kristi LaCroix.
Hey, hi. Okay, I was told that this has to be really quick and dirty, so you guys got to listen, just like I tell my students. In case you don't know me, my name is Kristi LaCroix, and I am a non-union school teacher. Yep. Really, that should have gotten more applause, but I forgive you. Okay, so I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about today because obviously my big thing is, you know, taking on the union and taking on WEAC and taking on the NEA and taking them to court and telling them no and giving teachers choices and letting them know what their options are. But this is a get out the vote, and so I thought the best way for me to use my time with you is to give you an excellent story about something that took place in Kenosha. How many of you are familiar with Kenosha? You should be. Because if you want to know where the union is getting all their money from, a lot of it is from Kenosha. So I want to take you guys back about a year ago, and many of you may have been following this. The school board, like most of the school boards in this state, are run by the teachers union. You may not even realize it. And so we decided, a group of us, maybe 3 or 4, decided, you know what, enough is enough. We're going to go out and we're going to find some awesome people, some everyday people, and we're going to beg them to run for the school board. We're going to take it over. We're going to make sure the union no longer has a voice. The union is no longer doing illegal contracts. And that union, that school board, is going to start following Act 10. Yeah. So because I'm super persuasive and my dad still thinks I'm perpetually 12, I asked him if he would please run for the school board. And he did. And he's the retired chief of police in Kenosha, and he ran for the school board. And then we also got a couple awesome people, and I wouldn't say conservative, although I think deep down they were, and we got them to run. And we were outspent 6-1, 6-1 in the primary. We were told there was no way on God's green earth that we were going to take over this school board, that the KEA and WEAC were going to take all of their money and put it in robocalls and put it in signs and put it against us, and the newspaper was in cahoots with them. And we got the last 2 spots in that primary. We went into the general election, and there was literally a handful of us, and we spent every waking minute putting hundreds of miles on a car, doing lit drops. I had ex-students coming out and volunteering. One of them is here, and she said, Mrs. LaCroix, I will come do that, and she gave up her weekend. We were knocking on doors. I couldn't go to a restaurant without bugging somebody. They would usually, they would usually say, hey, I know who you are, and for me, that's generally like, okay, this is either good or bad. Am I going to get punched, or am I going to get a handshake? And so I would tell people, anybody that would listen, this is what we need you to do. This is why this is important. I have children. I don't want the union doing this. We need to start giving our school board a chance to do what they have to do for the citizens, for students, for teachers. And I kid you not, they had a rally against us. They were slinging mud. They were yelling at my daughter in the middle of the street, at my mom right here, telling her, you know, tell your daughter to go back to where she came from. Well, I'm from Kenosha, so I wasn't going anywhere. And so, come election day, and again, my best friend Matt right here that's doing the sound, he put more miles on that truck driving me around. We got to the point where we could not find a newspaper box that didn't have our litnet. We drove all over the city. And our people, yeah, it was awesome. And our people, and when I say our people, again, it's nonpartisan, but let's be honest, you can't be smart and not be conservative. So they're conservative. And my dad won that election, and the other guy took second, and we took over that school board. And, yep. Yes, I had never walked out of my house with my head held so high as I did that day of the election. I had never been so excited. And so the reason that I tell you this story is I'm not anything important. I'm not running for anything. I don't have any money. I don't drive a fancy car. I don't, have a radio show. I don't do these things, but I have a vision, and I have, tenacity, and I have determination, and I have a big mouth, and those are all really good things. And so, in true teacher fashion, I'm hoping that this story inspires you, but also in true teacher fashion, I'm going to give each of you an assignment. And here's the assignment. When you leave here today, please know that your vote isn't enough. I'm not asking you to vote. I know you're going to vote. We're the people that vote. You people are here. Of course you're going to vote. What I'm asking you to do is to make sure that anytime somebody's in front of you, anytime you have 10 minutes, 5 minutes, pick up the phone, send an email, make a post on Facebook. I don't know, send fire signals. I don't really care. Do something to get people to the polls, because we don't have white vans. We don't have that. We have our mouths and we have our determination. And so that's your assignment. And if I find out you didn't fulfill it, I'm calling your parents. So thank you.